Hi David. Let's start with injury news, and let's start with Huang. I mean, he went off on Tuesday with what looked like a hamstring injury. How's his availability for this?
Yeah, he has a hamstring injury. We hope that he can be back before the end of the year, but it will be tight. So obviously he will miss Sunday's game.
Is that one that's been kind of scanned and
Yeah,
it's not a surgery kind of conversation?
No, he made a scan, so we've seen that he has a hamstring injury, and as I said, the time frame will be hopefully before the end of the year, but we will see how now the next 2-3 weeks he will progress.
That's a blow for you, isn't it? Because it comes at a time where he just started to score goals, felt like he was really adapting to the system. It feels like another blow in those kind of striker areas.
Yeah, correct. I think he, in recent weeks, he was in a good form, scored goals, worked hard, found always more and more his position in the game as well, settled in quite well as well. So, but you know how we are. We try to deal with the situation with this injury and try to find solutions for it.
In terms of other players, I think you were hopeful after Watford that Angus Gunn and Adam Forshaw would be back in training. Has that kind of played out as you hoped?
Yeah, Forshaw back in training, Gunny back in training, Johnny Rowe back in training. So we had the one or other back in training as well today and hopefully tomorrow as well. And then we have to make our decision how we like to set ourselves up for Sunday.
And with those players, I guess less John Rowe, but more the other two, is it a case that they will be available to start in terms of their fitness levels? I mean, you kind of hinted there at maybe a late decision on that.
To be fair, I think all three of them could be ready for Sunday if they now can train tomorrow without any issues as well. Johnny was, I think, out now for 2.5 weeks with not a lot of training on the grass. Obviously, all of them, Forshaw as well as Gunny, they worked hard in the gym, but it's always something different being on the grass with the team or working in the gym or with the fitness guys on the pitch as well.
What about Josh Sargent? Whereabouts is he in terms of his recovery?
He is back on the grass, linear running this week. Next week he will continue to do this. The week after, working with the conditional guys, football specific, and then the week after, the week leading to Huddersfield, we expect him back in team training.
And that's a major boost because that would be earlier than planned.
Yeah. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks ahead of the schedule. It looks like that Gibbo and Lungi will be back around this time as well, and Grant a week earlier. So Grant we expect to be back end of next week, maybe beginning of the week after, and this is the next one which we expect back in the next, as I said, 10 to 14 days.
Yeah, good news on the injury front. I do want to ask you a little bit about last night's AGM. I know you weren't there, so I appreciate it's difficult. But first and foremost, Ben Napper was there. I think he was asked some questions around kind of the age profile of the squad, and it was of his opinion that it needs to come down slightly. I mean, is that a view that you share, having worked with this squad over the last few months?
Yeah, I think this is quite obvious that we can and like to reduce the age average of the squad, but you have to have the possibility to do so. This means the contracts have to run down, or you have to find solutions, offers for the one or other as well. But this is one of the ideas which we have for the future. I think this is not a secret, and this is correct. And obviously, you like to always have assets in your squad. I think we have some, but you always like to have more. This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, of course. You spoke a lot towards the end of last season about experience. Do you feel you went maybe too far in terms of that? Because we're obviously now having a conversation about maybe the age of the squad. I know that wasn't all or any down to you really, but do you feel there's maybe a balance to be struck within the squad?
No, I think you have to see every signing in detail, and obviously some of the signings we've done quite late because we had to react, and then obviously you have to make the best decision which is available for you. So I think in general, I know what we've done and why we've done. We have known what we wanted to add. We always said as well, experience doesn't automatically means that the one is super old in these situations. but you have to be flexible in your squad, and this is what we like to be and what we will be for sure as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I think in your previous answer, about having an opportunity to reduce that age profile. There's obviously a transfer window on the horizon. How active are those conversations that you're having with Ben, I guess, and Neil? I don't know if you had any conversations with Mark Attanasio as well when he's been over. How have your conversations been about January specifically?
No, I met Mark and his representatives this week. I've spoken with Ben briefly about ideas, transfer window in January already last week or the week before, quite early when he started. And obviously we make some further meetings next week about this as well, to be best prepared as possible. But everybody knows that the general window is not the easiest one. Everybody says this, everybody knows this, but that doesn't mean that we like to be creative, and hopefully we can do some good things. But on the other hand, it's still 4 weeks to go, a lot of games to go till the transfer window as well, and this is, I think, where we have to be focused on.
Yeah, one other bit around the AGM that I wanted to ask you. I think Delia was obviously speaking to fans. I think she spoke to media afterwards as well. There were questions around kind of fan feeling and maybe some negativity from that, and she feels that maybe some negativity from some supporters, although she said a majority haven't been that way. Maybe she feels has been affecting kind of the mood around the players. What's your kind of take and opinion on that, and I guess the supporters' mood in general at the moment?
No, listen, in general, I think that there is frustration and no one is happy with where we are at the minute, what we maybe have produced in recent weeks, where we had some up and downs, at least results-wise. Hopefully we now can produce a positive result as well. I think this is clear. This is me, this is my staff, this are the players, everyone who's involved, the supporters, owner, everyone who feels with his club is not happy and satisfied with what he has seen and got so far. And I totally got it. But obviously, does it help someone to show it? I'm not quite sure, but at the end of the day, I think for me or for us, it's important that we understand why something happens, and we as well, and this is, I think, the most important thing, have to take the responsibility and have to know, okay, the only one who can change it is us, because don't forget, 3 months back, everybody has spoken about, whoa, what an atmosphere we have at Carrow Road again. Carrow Road is buzzing. This was as well the players, exactly this players produced these performances to get everybody back on board, and this is for sure something we try to get back. We know a few reasons why we were or why we are in the situation, or why we came in the situation which we faced, and we know what we have to do to solve it. But obviously that at the moment there is some negativity or frustration. I understand it, I get it, I respect it, but I know as well we can turn it, we can change it, and then exactly the same people who are negative or frustrated at the minute will be happy, and this is how football works. Is it always enjoyable? No, obviously not. We all together enjoy it more if we win, but we have to make sure that we invest everything, work super hard to change this, and then all the guys who are now very frustrated will be cheering and celebrating for the guys, for the players, and for this football club again.
Yeah, and you talk about fan frustration there. You will know, you've been in the business long enough. You're obviously at Watford. You've got ears. You would have been able to hear maybe the fans venting their frustration at you. What can you say to them? Can you say anything to them? Like you said there, it feels like now it's kind of about action, isn't it? And showing those improvements on the pitch. Is it that mission to kind of try and prove people wrong? I mean, how do you approach the situation that you find yourself in? Because even after 2 wins, we've kind of come back to a place where maybe the mood isn't great again.
Yeah, but as well in this situation, listen, we were leading 2-0, played 30 minutes quite well, and obviously then we lost the game and we didn't perform in the second half. And I said this, I have the main responsibility for it. And if this then is the supporters' reaction, I have to respect this. Do I like it? No, of course I don't do it. So, but it's the same in this case. So 4 months ago, I was on the wheel. So Wagner was on the wheel, and 4 months later, it's out. So this is exactly the same. So like for the players, like for the team, the only one who can turn it is us, to get exactly the same people who screaming and celebrating together with you the wins and good performances, react in this way if you don't do it. Again, do I need it in both directions, to be fair? No, but is this how it works? Yes, I respect this. Nothing what I really pay too much attention on it in both ways, to be fair, because I know how quick everything can turn. And the most important thing for all of us is that we still be focused on our work, and make sure you focused on your work, on your details, and don't get driven away by the noise and what is something you only can influence on the pitch. And this is exactly what we like to do.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say there, but I guess there is a human element to this. You're a human being. You have emotions. It must maybe not affect kind of your work and your thinking, but it must hurt you as a human being to kind of hear what.
Yeah, like I said, do I like it? No, obviously not. No one enjoys to hear something like this. But can I understand it from a fan perspective? As I said, I can understand it, and I know that exactly this guy's 4 months before has screaming, celebrating, totally different, and hopefully in 4 months' time it will be the same, that they then scream and celebrate again with us.
Just a few more from me, but you referenced the game on Tuesday night. How important is finding control within games? You referenced taking a 2-0 lead and maybe having that control, and then it seemed to kind of evaporate. Maybe I think there was a period between your second goal and maybe Watford's third where they had 21 shots compared to your 2. Does it feel like you need a bit more control within games, whether that's with or without the ball?
Yeah, for sure. I think our biggest problem against Watford was not our defending. Our biggest problem against Watford was that we were not good in ball possession. So we have to be much more brave, much more comfortable, with much more quality and talent which the players have in ball possession. We've spoken clear about this. We've shown a lot of videos. We already today worked on it because the boys are, for 100%, everybody knows he can do it better than we have shown there. And if you don't do this, obviously this means you have to defend a lot. Wave after wave comes, and obviously then situations like this then can unfortunately happen. But this was our biggest problem after 60 minutes or after 30 minutes, where we played okay. I would say we were very clinical, kept them away from our goal. Played okay, but after the first goal, which came out of nothing, we haven't done what we've done before, being brave in ball position, and this cost us then against Watford, against the good side, by the way. But we are better than what we've shown there for sure.
You've mentioned their ball possession. How much of that comes down to, because you've said they've got the quality to do it? So is this a confidence point? Is it structural? What is it that's maybe leading to that, or led to that?
No, it's for me, it's all about the confidence and the bravery, even in this negative atmosphere which you've said, even in this atmosphere of frustration, to calm down and do where you are good at. And this is what the players have shown more often in playing football, and this is what we have to do better.
This weekend, obviously Sunday, a trip to Bristol City. They're under new management in Liam Manning. What do you make of his early impact at Ashton Gate so far?
Good, very organised, very energetic, difficult to break down. Obviously, good in set pieces as well. It's an interesting test for us. So, do we do what we've done in the one game before and after the international break? Then we have a real chance, like always in the championship, against every opponent to perform and to get a result. But if we do it like we've done against Watford, it will be quite difficult. So at the end of the day, this means quite clear what we have to do. We have to look after ourselves, be much more better in ball possession, much more brave, still make sure you are as clinical as we are, because no one should forget we scored quite a lot of goals so far in this season as well. I think you as well can name the one or other positive, which is important to keep your confidence high. So we can score goals, and this is what we have to do. But we have to make sure as well, and I said this more often, don't do as big mistakes as we have done in the past before we concede.
Thanks, David. Good luck on
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Thanks, Connor.
Okay.